It's good to be back. Back with my good friend, Mr. Joey D. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. What's going on in your world, Mr. Erich Treslar?
How can you be doing fantastic, though? Because I'm going to jump right into it because I've been dying. And when I say dying, I mean dying to talk to you about this. Because what in the hell is going on with our Yankees? They're falling apart to injuries already. I've been wanting to talk to you for weeks because I was so amped about this season. Going out, trading for a guy like Soto.
Woo!
Making moves. Feeling good. You even picked up a Stroman where you're like, all right, 3, 4 maybe. You're good with that.
I like that.
But then, yesterday hits us like a punch in the face with the news of Cole going for an MRI on his elbow. Because we all know what that means. And the fact that they're saying, oh, well, he's going to look at it. He's going to do other things.
It's making us all very...
days, we'll let... Oh, it's got us real nervous.
That's the word I'm looking for. We are all very nervous here in Yankee world. That is very true. Very true.
If it's
Tommy John...
If it's Tommy John, where's the season going?
I still think they're going to make the playoffs without Cole. If it's whole season. I think that you can replace Cole. Yes. Has he been the best pitcher in baseball for the last 6-7 years? Yes. Is that tough to replace because he's a Cy Young Award winner? Absolutely. But I honestly believe if he's done for the year, they can some way, somehow figure it out and maintain a postseason run. I don't know about a World Series run, but I think this team's good enough to make a postseason run without him.
Who are they throwing? Like that's the problem is they have no depth, in my opinion, in the minor leagues, pitching-wise. We have hitters. We have position players. To me,
they got rid of all the depth in the Soto trade. You're right about that.
So, I mean, when you get rid of that kind of depth and you don't bring in enough, when all you brought in really was Stroman, I don't know how you can look at that. And to be honest, I think they're right where they were last year, fighting to be 500. If they lose a guy like Cole, you're taking 20 wins possibly out of the rotation. How are you going to replace 20 wins? Even if you go out and get somebody, the only chance you're going to have is maybe a Snell or maybe a Montgomery for 15 of those. But now you're requiring guys like Rodon, who hasn't proven anything yet. Guys like Cortez, who I like Cortez, but again, injuries.
He only had 1 year.
One really good year. And Schmidt, who again is coming along, but he's not there yet. He's not a 1, 2, or 3 even.
No,
not even
you're
close
definitely right
to be
about
honest,
that.
I don't even know if he'd be a 4 on anybody's squad.
I think he's good enough to be a 4 here. I really liked how he performed in the second half of last year. It took him a little. It's taken him a little bit to figure it out, but he pitched pretty well in like August and September last year. So if he could build off of that, I think he's going to fit in very well at the number 4 spot. But again, like you said, what are we going to do without Cole? How are we going to replace him? Blake Snell, I want to say, sign him up. Let's go. Get him up. Get him, Bauer. You got to call their agents, Montgomery.
But why aren't we getting creative? That's the thing that's bothering me, is because I keep hearing guys like Michael Kay, and he's absolutely right, that right now with the luxury tax, signing a guy like Snell to $30 million would actually cost the Yankees $60 million because of the luxury tax.
Correct. It's 110% tax on everything over the luxury tax.
Yes. So, I mean, it would literally cost the Yankees $60 million to get Snell.
Correct.
But what I'm wondering is why can't they get creative? Because guess what? Ohtani's not costing that again. He's not costing $70 million against the cap against LA. So, in a time of need, when we know we're going to need it, why wouldn't our front office get creative with some deals? Because I guarantee you it might be worth it to us if we could work out a deal where we give him, say, $10 million this year and then defer, say, give him the $30 million that he wants, but defer it so he gets $10 million this year and the other $20 million he'll get in 10 years. And then that'll give you time for Judge's contract to drop off, Cole's contract to drop off, other contracts to drop off before you have to start paying this back to him. So, I mean, I don't know why they can't work something out, because even then, it would only cost the Yankees, say, about $20 million instead of actually 10, because it would, but again,
Correct.
$20 million is a lot better than $60 million, and they could swallow that. So I don't understand why this front office, maybe you can answer it, maybe you can't, but what is going on there that these other teams can get creative with deals and find ways to make things work? They went out, LA signed arguably the best pitcher on the market, Ohtani, and hitter in the market, Ohtani, for $70 million a year. He's
and they got
for,
Yamamoto as well
against the cap or something. Is something ridiculous. Yep. And then they go out and they still spend on Yamamoto. They found ways to do it. Don't tell me because we got Stroman and we traded for Soto that we can't make these moves. They can be done. Where there's a will, there's a way, and that's what I would be thinking about if I was in the front office. What can we do to make it attractive for them to come here?
You're definitely not wrong. I want the front office to get creative as well. The only thing, though, with the Ohtani contract, he's the only player in baseball to have that contract.
So why not make it two then?
Again, that would be great. That would be great.
Why does he have to be the only outlier? Why can't other people follow that and say, you know what?
Why.
This is the great way of circumventing that luxury tax.
You're
going to screw us with the tax. Here's what we're going to do.
He makes $50 million off the field in endorsements and everything like that. That's why he's able to say, hey, I don't need the money at the moment with the Dodgers. I need it 10 years from now when I'm not making this money currently.
But Snell could be doing the same thing. Why can't he get a couple endorsement deals while he's in New York? You're telling me there wouldn't be
don't know.
Especially he's got a good rapport with Cole, whatever. There would be a way to market him. You could market Snell. He's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
You would think that, but baseball has that issue, don't they?
You can market the comeback of Monty coming back to the Bronx. You can find ways to get marketing around these people to make them that extra money. You could find ways to do it. Now, I get it that Ohtani has the all of Japan behind him as well, and that helps to have the Asian market behind him because he makes a lot of money from that as well. All I'm saying is we don't have to give because I mean he's only counting $2 million against the cap or something
like that. Yeah, correct.
Ridiculous. I'm not saying we got to go that low with these guys.
No, I understand.
Why not make it to where it's still feasible for the team to function this year, but be able to defer most of that money to after when these guys are done?
You need to talk to Mr. Blake Snell. It's on him whether or not he would be willing to do $20 million in deferred
are they even willing
or
to
anything
offer
like
it?
that.
That's my problem is because the Yankees should be smart enough to offer it. So it shouldn't be me calling. It should be Cashman already coming up with these ideas.
I'm sure he's already called. I don't know if they have ideas like that, but I'm sure he has definitely called.
When you see what happened with Ohtani, I get he's the first one to sign a contract like that. But when you see that contract actually works and it went through the MLB and they let it go through the way it was, I'm telling you, it's a copycat league. It's a copycat league no matter where you're at. And if something is successful and something works, this won't be the last time the Dodgers use it either.
You're definitely right. It's copycat.
They can steal every overseas player like this too, because you could steal every guy from Japan.
You're not wrong, but not everybody has the money like Ohtani does. That's why he did it. A lot of people want their money up front, just because living here in New York is super expensive and things of that nature. So they want their money up front. However, that'd be so cool if they got creative. The return of Monty. But that'd be cool.
My question is, why can't they get creative? And to me, there's no answer to that.
No, you're right. You're not wrong.
They should be getting creative.
I also wonder if maybe they got creative with Judge a little bit. They have the Judge's Chambers. I don't know if he makes money off of that per se. But maybe they can make something in the outfield with like Soto. So Soto can get paid off of that. And that could, because we want Soto back next year. He's probably going to cost $50-60 million. I don't know if that's creative where they could think it's something, because I know you can't have players do ownership, right? They can't be involved in anything like that. So,
but again, that's not to say that they couldn't after the fact, and not that I think you could put language in there like that, but there has to be some way to do it.
No, I'm with you.
And again,
I am 100%.
As far as getting Soto back, if they don't fix the Cole problem, I don't think Soto comes back. I don't think he wants to come back because why would he want to come back? Even if he loves New York, Cohen will pay him the money next year.
Oh, my God. That's what I'm afraid of.
They're already salivating over that. So if next year comes down to a bidding war and he looks at it and
the
he
Mets have nobody that they're really paying, they're going to give him whatever they want.
Well, yeah, and they're going to be paying Lindor still. I think it's the only one they're still going to be. And to be honest, it would be a crying shame. I'll be talking to some Met fans tomorrow, but it's going to be a crying shame if they don't bring back Pete Alonso because
that's true.
He should be a lifetime Met.
Heart and soul of that team.
And I get it that he's a little goofy, he's a little awkward. I guess not everybody loves him in the clubhouse. I know there's some things with the team, but at the same time, he's a lifer. And Mets don't have many guys like that.
No,
Who do
they don't.
have? I'm trying to think, like, David Wright.
He left early. He left early because of injury, David Wright.
Seaver wasn't even a lifetime Met, was he?
No, he got traded.
Very few.
Jose Reyes wasn't there forever.
No, but that's what I mean, is there's so very few lifetime Mets. Where we've seen lifetime Yankees, a bunch of them already come through. Like, you don't get that as much with the Mets, so I'd like to see him keep Alonso. But not to get too far off the Yankees here.
What do you want to see them do?
I want to see them get creative, and I want to see them sign Snell and Monty, because, to be honest, right now they still have Rodon, they have Cortez, they have
everybody's a question mark with injuries, except for, I think, Schmidt.
And that's why I think you have to have 6 pitchers going into the start of the season.
You probably need 7.
But with Cole down, I think you got to adjust it to 6. But you have to go in with 6.
Mm-hmm.
And because something's going to happen with somebody else in the rotation.
Correct.
It's going to happen within the first 2 months.
Cortez was out for how long last year?
And the problem, too, is with Snell and Monty not being in spring training already, it's going to take longer for them to ramp up at this point.
It's okay. Snell only pitches 5 innings anyway.
Which is another problem, because he could burn out the bullpen. And this is another thing. If they don't fix the problem with Cole, they're going to burn out their bullpen. So this is where, even if by some chance, like you say, they make the playoffs and they get in as a wild card, they're not going anywhere because their pitching is going to be stressed out and burnt out. If this injury comes back for Cole as what we think it might and what it probably is, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad.
It's definitely. I still think they can maneuver through the waters. I really do.
Is there any guy in the minors that you know of that will come up and out?
The only guys I know of are Clayton Beater, and I think Will Warren. Is that his name? I think those are
like a name.
Those are their top prospects, but the Yankees don't have a great track record of developing anybody. That's what I'm a little concerned about. The
only player they've really developed is Judge.
And Schmidt. Schmidt's been there now a couple years. Glaber.
No, but Glaber wasn't really. He got him from the Cubs. So, I mean, that's where we don't have a ton of... That's why I'm rooting for guys like the Martian. That's why I'm rooting for guys like Cabrera and Peraza.
Peraza's out for 8 weeks.
At least 8 weeks. So...
That's another one.
Yeah, and Martian...
Martian comes back in like June or July.
Yeah, so he's out too. So you don't have... What do we have? Spencer Jones?
And he's in low A ball, so he's not even going to be coming up.
And Cabrera. And that's about it. Outside of
they got this guy Trent Grisham from in the Soto trade.
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
I think he's going to be like a 4th or 5th outfielder for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now your outfield is looking like Soto, Judge, Verdugo, and then you have Grisham, and
I don't know.
That's about it until you get other guys back.
And then I'm guessing they're probably battling for the last 5th outfield position spot.
Unless this is something we haven't brought up yet, and it's the one thing, it's one of the reasons I was really excited early in spring training. I love the way that, and it's weird for me to say, but I love the way that Giancarlo Stanton slimmed down.
Hey, I agree. Hopefully this is a slim Stanton means a better, healthier Stanton.
Well, and I hope it brings back a little speed. Before he came to the Yankees, he was top 3rd of the league in speed.
I did not know that.
He was top 33% in speed, like running the bases. And came to the Yankees, and he's in like the bottom 5%.
Well, that's because the Yankees were like, don't do anything. Just hit home runs.
Just hit a home run.
Just hit a home run.
Focus on your launch angle, that. And he did. And unfortunately, it's kind of tanking his career.
I agree.
I think that after last year, he's a guy who's motivated. He's a guy who doesn't want to be seen like that. Because, again, he wants the value in himself,
he
too.
Still has pop in his bat. He played 100 games last year, still hit 25 home runs.
Yeah, he's got plenty of pop. Yeah. So I love the way he slimmed down, because I'm hoping that makes him a little bit more athletic. Hoping it frees him up a bit. I think guys are too bulky. Guys are too weight room focused, and I think that is a big reason on why it seems like anyway, there's so many more injuries now. I feel like guys' bodies were looser back then.
They 100% were.
They were a little bit, they had more of the dad bod look, but they were looser and they didn't seem to get injured as much. Now, I know guys throw harder now. I know that everything is,
Baseball's changed over the years, obviously.
Analytics has gotten involved and changed everything. I get it, but I'm glad that Giancarlo took it upon himself because Judge didn't necessarily slim down the way that he did.
He did not.
And I'm okay with that because at least if he's going to he's maintained the same body style, at least Judge. So even from like when he was
I'm always worried about Judge, though, just because he's 6'7".
You have to worry.
Big dudes like that
don't last long.
Correct. They don't stay healthy. Even though he's literally a top 5 player in baseball, or you can argue the best hitter in baseball, I don't trust a 6'7" body. I don't. And he got him playing center field. I don't think he's gonna hold up, man. I just don't. I'm really worried. I'm always worried about Judge. I didn't like the 9-year deal. I understand we had to sign our dude last year. We couldn't let him go to the Giants or the Padres. But I'm just worried.
They did the opposite of what the Giants did with Saquon.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They paid their dude who delivered. Yeah. Unlike the Giants.
But, I mean, again, Judge, I think, delivers most of the time. I get it. 50% of the time he's been in the league, he's pretty much been hurt. I get it that he's definitely had stints. Right. But when he is on, he is arguably
the best power hitter, the best hitter in baseball when he's on.
In baseball, but he's a hell of a fielder, too, with a cannon for an arm.
Yes, he is.
So he's one of the best players in baseball when he's on. So it's a matter of keeping him healthy. And I think Stanton, believe it or not, you may see him play more outfield this year.
You need to.
Yeah, but I think that works better for him because if you actually go back and look at his stats over the last
plays
8
better.
years, he plays better when he plays the field.
Correct.
He hits better when he plays the field. So why wouldn't you want to capitalize on that? Especially analytic guys. If you see that his stats are better hitting when he plays the field, why wouldn't you try to work him more into the lineup to play the field? Now, I get it because he was so immobile, so damn slow over the last couple of years.
Like, his defense is so bad, we don't want him playing defense.
It's so bad. Oh, my God. But at the same time, he got a cannon for an arm, whatever. So I love the fact that he slimmed down because I think that's going to make him more athletic out there. I think it's 100% going to help with his speed. And they may be able to outslug guys all year, 9-6, 8-7.
That's how I think they're going to win.
They're gonna slug their way through, but they also have to hit for average, and that's something the Yankees haven't done. Now I know Soto comes over batting with an average, but LeMahieu came over batting with an average too, and we've seen that go on the decline.
Only the last couple of years. So the first 2-3 years, he was really good. I want to
see the Yankees get back to because you see this with Houston. Houston is a team that. They hit.
Mm-hmm. They can hit for homers. They can hit for average.
They do it all.
Yes.
And they don't strike out that much. They're bottom 5 in the league in strikeouts.
That's clutch.
And so, I mean, I get it that it's home run or bust with the Yankees, but why can't they take a page? Again, this is where I say... Copycat. If something is successful somewhere else and you could see it and you're not being successful with what you're doing... Why wouldn't you try to adopt, even if you don't take their full philosophy, even if you don't take their full program of what they do, why not try to take some things from it and implement it in a way that would help your ball club? And this is where, to me, I would fire the whole analytics staff and I'd bring in one guy or two guys. I think they have analytics staff that is out of control. I know that they'll argue that till they're blue in the face. Cashman will argue that. But again, Cashman's also the guy who says to his managers, you know, if you want to manage and you want to go against what the analytics say,
you're done.
Well, no, you're gonna deal with the repercussions again, like you were just alluding to. Done. So if it doesn't work, you're gonna be on the hook and you're gonna be fired for it. Well, guess what? If it doesn't work and I did it your way, you didn't fire me, but we still suck. So why not try something new? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
I think they're going to do something a little different this year. They picked up Verdugo. Verdugo hits for a better average. What is he, like a 260, 270 hitter? So that's definitely better. I think Volpe is going to hit for a better average this year. I think he only hit 210 last year. So I think if he can even get it up to just 240, 250.
He should not be any launch angle. In my opinion.
No, he's killing it this spring. He's having an awesome spring. Get on base.
Get on base.
Because then he can wreak havoc on the bases, too. The Yankees haven't had somebody who could steal bases like him I can't even remember the last guy.
And if he could hit like that, it would be great to have him at the top of the lineup and then have Soto and Judge behind him. Then have a contact hitter like LeMahieu or like LeMahieu used to be. Hopefully he can return to that. But he's never been the same since he went down with injuries.
Correct. You're not
wrong.
So
it's like, and he's only getting older. All these guys,
the infield is old. The infield is old. Rizzo's 34. LeMahieu's 35.
Is his back going to hold up, Rizzo?
I don't think so. And how is he going to perform after the concussion? I mean, these are all question marks. We don't know. We're hoping that they come back and they perform well. They perform to the back of their baseball cards, but we don't know.
No. And Rizzo may still be a space cadet. You know, we have no.
Not.
I hope not too. But those concussions can be a bit scary.
100%.
And they can. You could end up with some serious damage. So I wonder, is it ever going to come back for him? Because it didn't come back last year for him.
No, it did not. And I'm always curious about this too. Why it takes so much longer for like a baseball player to come back from a concussion than like a football player? Is it because you have to focus on that 100-mile-an-hour ball that's coming and you don't have a 0.3, 0.4 seconds to decide to swing or not?
Yes. But it's also because we know the NFL only cares about money. And are you cognizant enough to get back on the field? Okay,
you good?
Back out there.
Go.
Baseball,
Go hit somebody.
It's like, yeah.
Let's be safe.
Like, you know, we just threw you 10 pitches and you missed every one of them by a foot. We're gonna put you back on the bench for a while. You know what I mean? Like, because it is, you have to have a certain amount of focus. They say the hardest thing to do in sports, not the hardest sport to play.
Is to hit a baseball, right?
It's not the hardest sport to play. It's not the most difficult, but the most difficult single thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. Like that's just the way it is. And to have that focus, because again, 100 miles an hour could be coming in anywhere in a like 2-foot range, 2 foot by 2 foot range. You've got to know.
You got to react.
And to have that reaction time, it's like being out there stoned. You're out there stoned. You're not going to possibly have the same reaction time. You know what I mean? You're going to be like
slower by a little bit.
Whoa.
By a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not the thing to do out there. But at the same time, it's just like you have to be a little bit more cautious with baseball players because of that.
Absolutely.
And it's, again, not because you're worried about them getting slammed around or getting another concussion. It's because you're literally worried about, can they actually see the ball coming in? Is the reaction time the same now as it was prior to the head injury? And yeah, I hope that it is for Rizzo because I like Rizzo too as a person, as a player, as a locker room guy. I think he's a positive guy. I think the team loves having him there.
I do too.
And I would like to see positive success for him. Even though he's not a lifer Yankee, he came from the Cubs. He's already got a ring. I get it, but at the same time, he does care. I'm a Rizzo fan, and I want to. But at the same time, like everybody else on this team, we are the team of injuries. We are the team of question marks.
Yes, we are.
Because at any single time, at any point in time, this is the only team I know of that this is the only team that you got to worry about constantly. Like every game, did somebody go down? Did somebody go down?
Yeah, they're a very veteran team now. Like I said, DJ's older. Rizzo, Judge is in his 30s. Stanton's in his 30s.
Volpe second year, at least. So he's got a year under his belt.
Yeah.
Guys like Peralta, they got time under their belt now.
Who I think is going to be very good this year. I think it's Austin Wells is going to surprise a lot of people.
I hope so.
And they're going to get production finally from that catcher position.
Believe it, I'm not a big fan of Ben Ruvit.
I'm not either, but he's going to be the third catcher. Isn't Trevino still on the team?
No, he got traded. He was in the trade.
No, Higgy was.
Oh, that was right. That was Higgy. So, yeah, no, but isn't Trevino's hurt, isn't he?
Oh, that I wasn't 100% sure of. I just think he's the backup. But, yeah, I have big confidence in Wells having a good year this year. I think Volpe's going to step up and have a better rookie year. Glaber, he's on a contract year. Time to step up. Let's get those 40 homers, Glaber, like you had a few years ago. And I really think the lineup's going to be great. I think the lineup's going to carry him. That's why I truly believe even if Cole is hurt for a long time, I think with a healthy lineup, this team is just going to bash runs. I really do. They're gonna, like you said earlier in the program, they can win 9-6 every single game. I know that's not going to happen, but I really think with this lineup, they can. Now the bullpen though, that's something that scares me because I don't know what's going on with it. I know Holmes is still there, and this year it seems like Cashman was making some trades with the Dodgers to try and get a couple arms. We signed a couple people. There's no dominant arm in that bullpen except for Holmes. So I'm a little worried.
I don't even know if he's that dominant. I mean, Canely, you gotta again.
Canely, he's gonna start this season hurt on the IL.
And Trevino was hurt. He just came back, played his first spring training game yesterday, and homered. So he
all right.
So he just came back. So I was right that he was hurt. Who knows what that means? If he, I hope he doesn't, go down. But again, catcher is something where you can get beat up playing catcher.
Yeah, you definitely can.
So
I like Wells though. I like Wells and Trevino. Wells is gonna bring something that Higgy didn't. And that's a good shtick. And we're finally going to get production out of that catcher position. Yeah, like I said, Glaber's going to have a big year. He's looking to get paid. One thing about the lineup, do you want Volpe leading off to begin the year? Do you want him batting lower and maybe coming up later in like maybe June?
No,
if he's
hitting
I want
well? Consistency with the lineup. So I'm going to nip that in the bud. That's the one thing that's aggravated me about Boone, but I don't even know if it's so much Boone as it is the analytic team in the front office.
It's probably the analytic team.
But they bounce their lineup around too much. Guys move here, guys move there. Volpe's up at the top of the lineup, but then they only bat him there for a week. He struggles a little bit. Rather than giving him time to develop into that role, they're immediately pulling him out and then putting him back in, and then injuries, and I get with injuries, you got to do different things with the lineup.
Yes.
100% understand that. But it's when they have the same lineup as the day before, but yet they're batting everybody different. Why are people moving? Why? I want them to leave everything consistent. However they said it, whether Soto's going to bat 2 or 3, or whether Judge can bat 2 or 3, leave them wherever they're at.
Yep.
Volpe, if you want to put him at leadoff, you leave him at leadoff. He's got to be there until at least the All-Star break. You want to make a change at that point, that's the time, in my opinion, you make a change outside of injury.
Baseball players are such creatures of habit. Like, don't mess with them. Just have consistency throughout the lineup. I'm with you 100% on that.
And I would do the same kind of with Stanton, where maybe once a series, twice in a 4-game series, why not have him play in the field?
Yeah, there's no argument. Hopefully his defense is better. Like you said, he lost a lot of weight. He's in tremendous shape.
Where does he bat this year?
I think he's going to bat lower in the lineup. I could see him batting like 6th. Because let's see. Let's just say, let's put Volpe first.
Yep.
We'll put Soto second, Judge third. So that's righty, lefty, righty. 4th, you could put Rizzo. That's a lefty. So you're going righty, lefty, righty. You could put Glaber.
Would you put Glaber there, or would you put DJ there?
I'd probably put Glaber over DJ. DJ's probably going to be lower in the lineup.
Yeah, because I've heard so far, I've heard they want to bat him leadoff.
Ugh. I was all for that like 3 years ago, like 2019, 2020, even 21. I think I was all for that. And then the last couple of years, he's been hurt. What do you have, a toe injury or a foot injury? And it really declined his the last couple of years for him. I don't want him batting leadoff anymore. I don't. I want a good contact hitter at the bottom of the lineup. That's fine with me. I don't. I want Volpe. He's the future. He's got speed. He can wreak havoc. He's got power. I want him at the top of the lineup.
All right, so your lineup would be so far Volpe, Soto, Judge.
I'll put Rizzo behind Judge.
Okay.
So that's 4. I'll go Glaber 5, Stanton 6. Who we missing? Verdugo 7, Austin Wells 8, and whoever I left out 9. Peraza. DJ can bat 9. Perfect. There you go, DJ.
All right. I think they're going to reverse that. So I think to start the season, I just have a feeling that the way they're going to go is probably DJ 1. I think Soto 2, Judge 3. 4 is where I struggle a bit.
Do you see Stanton at 4?
I could see them trying him there.
Just because he was he's Stanton for his all-star name and
exactly
his pride, a little respect to him. Okay.
I think you're looking at probably Rizzo 5. Who am I missing?
Glaber?
Rizzo, Glaber, or maybe Glaber then Rizzo.
You're missing DJ?
Well, no. DJ, I said 1.
Oh, that's right.
I said right. DJ 1, Soto 2,
okay.
Judge 3,
Stanton
4,
Rizzo 5,
Glaber 6.
So now we're missing the catcher.
Verdugo 7, Austin Wells 8, and I think
9.
Volpe 9 because they'll try to go with that back to back, like kind of.
No, I know what you did to
opposite of what you did, yeah.
To flip it.
And then I think if DJ gets hurt or if DJ struggles, eventually you may see Volpe, like you said, go up to the top. I'm with you though. I would like to see him start the season there, but where I'm gonna say he starts the season is 9th.
I tend to agree with you, but I want him at the top, baby. Let's go. Wreak some havoc. Mr. Anthony Volpe. Okay.
Wait. In the knuckleheaded news of the week. I'm just reading this really stupid headline. And it's as if we didn't know already.
I see the headline.
Yankees say Cole unlikely to start opening day. I mean, water is wet. Like it is. This is the dumbest news I think I've seen in I don't know how long. We knew it the second the news came out. Once you say you're getting an MRI on your elbow, and we're hitting March, the middle of March, there's no way because they're shutting them down for a minimum 2 to 3 weeks, minimum.
Absolutely.
So at least they get all the testing done and everything. At least with any kind of uncomfortability in your elbow. So. This to me is just why even print that story?
I don't know.
Give me that. Give me a reason for that, Joey.
I don't have a reason. Just a headline catcher because it's Yankees. So you're like, ooh, Yankees, ooh. But it's something we already know.
But it's just rubbing salt in the wound at this point. It's rubbing salt in a very, very fresh wound.
Since we brought it back to Cole, I heard the Yankees are renegotiating or re-engaged, that's the word, with the White Sox for a possible trade with Dylan Cease. Personally, I don't want Dylan Cease. I would rather go pay somebody. You're only wasting money as opposed to trading players that we probably need right now. For a pitcher, I don't think he's great. I think he's okay.
Got what, a year left on his deal?
Yeah, he's got a year left. I think he's good, not great. I wouldn't make this trade right now.
To me, it depends on who they're giving up. If they're not giving up any other top prospects, if they're not giving up a Spencer Jones, if they're not giving up a Dominguez, if they're not giving up Peraza,
I think they want
Peralta,
Spencer Jones, and that's the holdup in the trade.
I wouldn't give up Spencer Jones.
I wouldn't either.
I think he's a guy that I'm going to hold on to. At least for right now, think mid-season, see where we're at. If we need to make a push and you need to make a move, then, again, prospects are still prospects until they get up into the majors and prove themselves. So I'm with you there. I don't like Spencer Jones for Dylan Cease, but at the same time, like, we need pitching. And if you can get it and get a caliber guy like, a Dylan Cease, then, and you don't have to give up the farm to get him because he's only got a year left. He really doesn't want to be there. That team's going nowhere.
Yeah, they're going to lose 100 games this year.
So if they can get some even low-level prospects, maybe if there's some A guys or, double A guys that they're looking at that the Yankees feel comfortable enough giving up that are maybe top 25 but not necessarily top 10 or top 15 prospects, I would entertain it because why not? Otherwise, we waste guys. Like, we waste Florial. They wasted
Florial.
We waste so many guys, and you hear about the hype for so long. How we heard about the killer bees, and we heard about the Jabba rules, and we hear about all these guys, but yet they treat them all with such kid gloves that they never end up maturing into actual ball players. And that's the issue I have with the way the Yankees run their farm system right now. So that's why I say if you can find a team interested and they're interested in some of our lower level prospects, guys, we're going to end up wasting anyway. Do it.
I gotcha.
Why have him just sit in the minors and say,
true.
ooh, great, we have a great prospect?
Because that's what George would have done. George would have, who knows if Judge would have then been on the team because he probably would have traded him. But you're right. George says, hey, prospects are nothing. I would rather go get a proven commodity than 4 guys who may not even make the roster.
Yeah. We're simpatico there, my friend.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, I look at this team and I want to get to some projections now, just to where we think this team, and I think you've kind of given some already of what you think this team can accomplish this year. So I want to give you 2 scenarios, and I want you to give me 2 ways.
Okay.
One is we're going to hit the worst case scenario first because that's the most likely. So
I love that you're like, this is the most likely, the worst case.
The worst case scenario, Judge ends up with a core injury, oblique injury, misses, say, 60 games. Cole misses the whole season due to this elbow injury. At this particular time, hey, I guess Louis got an opinion today, too. Well, but again, if you're going to die on this hill, he's got a hill to die on, too. I mean, this may be the hill he wants to die on. But,
Yankees are going to be okay, Louis.
Yeah.
Yankees going to be all right. In that worst case scenario,
where do you put this team at the end of the year?
Trading Soto at the deadline, trying to get any type of prospects you can for him. Trading, I think Rizzo's on his last deal. I'm trading all these guys and getting any type of top prospects I can.
I think Louis likes that idea. I think that's the hill.
And I hope that's just a worst case scenario.
I think he's yeah. So best case scenario.
Ta-da!
Best case scenario, we have Judge ready for opening day.
And Cole misses a month.
We'll say Cole misses the first month of the season. Where's this team? What do you think they do at the deadline?
They're adding 100%. Whether it's a bullpen arm, the bullpen really concerns me. But Brian Cashman over the years has always had a pretty good bullpen. So I'm going to trust him. But I see them adding a bullpen arm, and maybe there's some stud pitcher who becomes available, and they go after him to try and put them over the top. That's what because if this lineup is healthy, you don't need to touch it. You're going to playoffs, you need pitching, and pitching. So
we're getting swept.
No. in this glorious, amazing, good case scenario, I see them making a push for the World Series.
All right. Well, because again, if you have the horses there, again, Cole is your number one. If Rodon, if Stroman, if some of these other guys could step up and be a solid
I can see Stroman working his way up to be our number 2.
I hope so.
I really do.
Stroman's an interesting character.
Stroman wants to be a Yankee. He did not want to be a Met. When he
didn't really want to be in Toronto either, and I get it that he had some beef back then with the Yankees, and he kind of criticized Cashman a little bit.
Yep.
But I think it was more because he was, you hate him because you ain't him. You know what I mean?
I think he was pissed because they traded for J.A. Happ and not him.
and not him. And I think that he took a little bit of offense to that.
I think so too.
And I think that he held a little bit of a grudge. Now I'm so happy to see he got over it. I'm happy him and Cashman could squash that nonsense beef they had and be able to work something out, because he is a guy that has that, like...
He does. He was great last year. He was an all-star for the Cubs.
He's got a different mindset than most. Like, he's not relaxed. Like, he's a guy that's intense. Like, he wants to win.
I think Yankee fans are going to love him. If he's good, I think Yankee fans are going to love him.
Yeah, I think Yankee fans are going to love Soto, too. I think it's hard not to love a guy who's going to come in and probably hit 35 home runs, bat around 290 to 300.
He almost hit a 500-foot home run the other day, dude, in a spring game. Oh, my God. I love him in a Yankee uniform.
Right? It's
so good.
It's so good. Oh.
Love it.
Right? And, I mean, he's got a good swing for Yankee Stadium.
He's got a great swing. It's beautiful to watch him play. Hopefully it's more than 1 year.
Right? Can't wait. Next Friday, I will be at the Yankee Met spring training game in Tampa down there at Georgia M. Steinbrenner Field. Boom.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's really cool, man.
I'm pretty pumped about that. I haven't been to a spring training game in many years.
I've never been.
Yeah, no, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And it's gonna be my first Yankee game. Actually, I didn't go to a game last year. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to one. But I am pumped to go. I haven't been to this field in probably close to 20 years. Like, it's been a while since I've been to a spring training game. I've been to plenty of games here in the Bronx, but not necessarily down there. So I'm pretty pumped about it. Actually, the last time
I love that you're going Mets Yankees. That's great.
Yeah, it actually worked out. It's on a Friday afternoon. It's like perfect. It's, we should see most of the roster because you're getting later into spring training. So most of those guys will be, more every day. I'm sure we won't see everybody, but it's cool. I'm really looking forward to that.
I hope you see like Will Warren or Clayton Beater pitch. I really do. And I hope they light it up and you're like, yo, we're good without Cole. We got one of these studs. We're good.
That one can only hope. One can only hope that we are that lucky, my friend. Because if not, I got to think that this team, if it is worst case scenario, then we're looking at a long season. And we're looking at a lot of days where we're talking and going, man, what do we need Cashman to do today?
It is March 12th. You better not be negative, sir. Baseball is a very long season. We are the Yankees. I have not a lot of faith, but I got faith in Cashman to pull a rabbit out of the hat right now. I really do.
I love your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm is actually pumping me up.
It's the final countdown for him.
It's the final countdown.
But it honestly is. It is the final countdown for Brian Cashman. They re-upped him, but us Yankee fans for the last few years have had want a little fire to his tushy. Okay, so this is the year he knows he's all in. He went for Soto. He understands he's got to deliver. So he's gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat. If not, he's gone.
Well, listen, I'm actually in a way happy that he didn't pull the trigger on Yamamoto. I do wish he would pull the trigger on one of these other pitchers. So maybe it's a trade for Cease. Maybe it's his bringing in Monty. Maybe it's something else. Maybe they can work out something with Snell. Whatever it is, if they get that one more arm, I'm with you 100%. I think this could be a fun, exciting year. I'm looking forward to that. I don't think it's going to be worst case scenario. I also don't think it's going to be best case scenario. That's what I like to hear. Because I am really worried about Cole's arm. Outside of that, I'm with you. I think we could slug our way through just about anybody in the regular season.
I do too.
Because we're gonna have those bats, but it's the playoffs when everything tightens up. It's that way in most sports, in hockey, in hockey, goaltending, hot goaltending in the playoffs wins. When you're talking basketball, defense, believe it or not, in the playoffs,
yes, 100%.
Wins. Same football wise. You have every top offense in there, but if you can't stop them, then you end up with a guy like Mahomes running through the league like the way he does because nobody can stop him. Like, he doesn't matter. You leave him 14 seconds, you leave him 4 minutes. He's going to end up putting points on the board. So, yeah, your enthusiasm has reignited my fire, my friend.
Let's go, baby.
I'm pumped for that because we're going to the game next week and going to the game next week.
I can't be disappointed on March 12th. If this was like September 12th, then yeah, I could be disappointed. It's March, baby. Yeah. Anything's possible. I'm rooting for the Yanks hard. I think they're going to make a run, baby. We got this.
All right. Well, then, last thing I'm going to ask you before we get out of here, give me 162 games. Oh. Give it to me. Give me their record. Where are they finishing this season? Knowing they finished 82 or 81 or 82 and 80 last year. Where are they at this year?
I'm going to give you 2.
Okay.
With Cole, I'm going to say they're going to win 96 games with Cole.
Okay.
Without Cole, I'll say 89 to 90. I'll go 90. I'll go 90 for without Cole.
You know what? I love that. And I'm pretty close to you because I think they're right about 95 wins with Cole. I think they're about 90 wins without.
Okay. We're right there.
So we're pretty much simpatico. I love it. Like I said, you've reignited my fire. I was down yesterday.
Nah, man. It's too early to be down.
Well, I mean, he's the ace of the staff and one of the best pitchers in baseball. 100%. So it's hard not to at least let it affect you.
Cashman does okay. He finds pitchers. He will figure something out. Is it going to be another ace? Probably not. But is it going to be somebody who could be at a replaceable level? Yes. So let's go, baby.
And that's the hill we're going to die on.
Yes. Love it.
Right? So, till next time, my friends. We'll be back later this week doing this as well. You can follow me at The Living Legend on X, at Die on This Hill on YouTube. Joey, where can the people find you if they want to find you?
I'm only on Facebook, so...
No, actually, believe it or not, I found you on X as well. You're at Sports Zone Joey D. So if you wanted to go and find an account that he probably hasn't looked at in years.
And probably like 10 plus years.
Yeah. But,
I'll go check that out. Maybe I can reclaim it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can because it's still there and active. I tagged you in it actually last week. But until then and until Thursday, until me, you, and Dave next week, this is Die on This Hill. Have an opinion. Don't be afraid. And like, subscribe, share, do all those fun things.
We love you. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.